That's a big number. Big numbers. Big numbers. 100 million bag. That's a big number. Big numbers. Blue hunts. Whole team counting. That's a big number.
It's lonely on top of the throne. I am a king of the pawn.
All right, Coach, it is a cold night in western Pennsylvania as we bring you inside Heinz Field here in Pittsburgh. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Let's go. Let's bring it. Let's bring it.
Get it. First carry for James Conner. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line.
Yeah.
Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's 2nd down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
3rd play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5.
Hey, Delta.
Back to throw here. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. This is taken around the 12. It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10.
Ready. 55, Mike 55. Hey, Come on. Check 15. Check 15.
First carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Jackson is going to let this one go deep. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
26 Mike. Mike. Hey. 26, Mike. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. 26, Mike. 26, Mike.
Throwing is Jackson. Flushed out right. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The intended target, the tight end, Austin Seferian-Jenkins. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's 2nd down and 10.
Okay, break. Go 58 to the mic. I got it. He's coming. Double up. He's coming. Ready.
On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. He'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. The Browns drive about to get started. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be a blitz coming, and down he goes. Mark Barrett gets him for a loss of 10 yards from his linebacker spot.
And that's their first sack of this game. But how about last week? 6 sacks. Great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. To throw is Jackson. He's going to walk one deep left side here. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the third time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. There's Jackson on 3rd and long. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And got his man complete. A big play that time for Cleveland. 41 yards.
Now that one hurts defensively. They force him into 3rd and long, have the advantage, yet they give up the big play right there.
Yeah, their offense was already warming up on the sideline, ready to come out. So much for that 3 and out. So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. And looked like some movement there. Let's get the call. So that'll back them up 5. Now Hunt. Give him maybe a yard, quite the opposite from the previous big gainer.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
They go play action with Jackson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. T.J. Watt in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
But enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Get a little closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
2nd and 13. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Leonard Floyd has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
It's now 3rd down.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. Give him 8 yards on the carry, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments, and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter action from Pittsburgh. It is the Steelers in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. So a big break. The roughing the kicker called on 4th down leads to 1st and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. 2nd and 10 now from the 27.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he powers his way up past the 30. Tackle made there by Myles Garrett.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
And the Steelers on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 6. They'll set up to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield, but that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lock behind it. Wow. The Browns drive about to get started. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they'll be at the 18-yard line. Great field position here in the red zone.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
Looking to find a lane, but he can't rein in at the line of scrimmage. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. That 2nd down run, a big help as 7 yards leaves him with just a 3rd and 3 now.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
Slam, slam, slam. Kill, kill, kill.
Go on. Ready?
They'll try and run forward with Conner. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the 1st. So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Seferian-Jenkins has it. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
That coach is always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the second quarter now, and we do have our first points, a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
And feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
The Browns drive about to get started. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Call it a gain of 3, and they're going to have a third down.
Mike's 50, Mike's 50. We ain't giving up nothing today. Mike's 50, Mike's 50, Mike's 50.
Now Jackson. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down. On first down, they'll run with Hunt. Artie Burns, the cornerback, brings him down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson. It's caught by Coleman. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 30.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Jackson on first down. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Stephon Tuitt, the former Notre Dame man, in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. Reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Throwing on 2nd and long. Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down.
55, Mike, 55. Hey, eat. Switch.
Jackson from the shotgun. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. T.J. Watt has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Jamie Gillen now as he's on to punt for Cleveland. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback.
Ready, set.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 19-yard line.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Let's pick it up. It's out of time.
2nd and 11. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
I got you.
5.
It's 50. Mike's 50. Here we go. Mike.
Hey!
Now back to throw. Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
You ready? Check. Check 99. Check 99. Check rep. Check hot rep. Hot. Say go. Say kick ball. Hey, turn it out.
They'll run. This is Hunt. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Now after the run by Hunt, here's 1st and 10.
Check.
Here's Jackson to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Now Jackson going to throw again. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Kareem Hunt, his running back, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Stephon Tuitt able to shake free and get home for the sack. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Won't get there. Won't be online either. It's no good. Off to the right, and this score will stay right where it is.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but Let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. On the corner blitz that time, the sack goes to Denzel Ward. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This one fielded at the 5. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the 3rd quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
On 2nd and 12, Jackson escaping the pressure right. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Appeared to me he was just trying to find an open receiver and got forced out to his right. Had to come off of a guy downfield and try and hit his back. Unable to connect. Should have been an easier throw moving to his right, though.
Yeah, much easier, obviously, for a right-handed quarterback. If he was going to his left, a little bit tougher.
Exactly.
On 3rd down, Jackson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it, and they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
So on the big tight end, Holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without Holding.
They go play action here on 1st down. Going for the deep ball. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
Come on, let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, he sheds himself free. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at his 4. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The Browns' drive about to get started. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10.
Get wide. Mike 55.
Quarterback, don't get nervous.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. Past the 20. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Brandon Cooks, 79 yards, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Let's go.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see.
A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Demarius Randall. Well, you won't hear any boos from this home crowd on that call.
No, not at all. And it's been a long day for this crowd waiting for this game. It's been a long evening as well. Finally, they feel they got a call.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run it now out of the gun. Still on his feet. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Set. 30 base.
Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time.
Ready?
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll be a 2nd and long.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Down. 8, read.
Let's go.
Let's go.
On 3rd down, it's Connor. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
70, Indy. Go.
Stay.
Hey, Echo.
58, right over there. Yeah. Mike.
5.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. What a difference a week makes. Last week, he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week, he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 5.
Come on. 50's the mic. 50's the mic.
Watch. Right. Zoom.
Watch the slant. Hey.
Shoot.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Dancing to his left. He may try and run for this. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? Now it's counter. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Well, close game, second half. You obviously hate to leave 3 out on the field.
Especially in a game like this when you know points are hard to come by. That was one of their best opportunities so far, and they come away with nothing.
So the missed field goal, and now they're in great shape. They'll start at the 38. To begin the drive, here's a handoff to Hunt. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. There to stop him, Terrell Edmunds.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the 42-yard line.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Jackson, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard.
55, my God, 55.
To throw on 3rd down, Jackson throwing the out route incomplete. It's Gray. And he goes out of bounds and looks like right at the 50. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They'll run with Coleman on 1st down. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Check 52.
Play action. It's Jackson. And, boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Now it's Jackson. He's going to look deep down the field, and that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Here's Jamie Gillen now. He's been terrific so far. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. He's going to field this at the 4. 42 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And the Steelers are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And last time out, another missed field goal, so maybe their confidence wavering a little bit right now in the kicking game.
And I'm with you on that. I think at this stage, they'd love to not run him back out there in a tough situation. But let's face it, they may have to. So right now, the head coach is talking to the offense coordinator and saying, call this game like we're going to put it in the end zone. Let's try and take the field goal out of it.
1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Ready? 18 Gator.
49. I got
He's going to have the first down past the 20. A big play there on the catch and run. 42 yards.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. 2nd and 2. Flush to his right. He's going to take off with it. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 31-yard line.
How many times have we seen this late in the 4th quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
A great Monday night to wrap up the week in football. 2 division rivals and a great finish ahead as we come up on 1st and 10. A little bit of space there for the first down run as that's going to get him about 5 yards. Tackle made by Demarius Randall. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
They run with Connor. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The Steelers on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And this will be a 45-yard attempt. Boswell's kick is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
On a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. The Browns drive about to get started. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
On 2nd down now, it's Hunt, and he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, that plays a statistic that's going to go on the defensive team stat sheet. Won't necessarily reflect in ours, right, the overall game sheet. But you and I know that they keep count on pressures, hits on quarterbacks, all those things, hoping to increase that throughout the game. And here we are in the 4th quarter, and they got a big one.
And such a close game, a very big one. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
It's a party now. Check 55, come on. Check 50. I'm coming for you. You mine.
To throw is Jackson. To throw again. Eluding the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. He's crazy. He's checking crazy. Mike, 55. Check, 55, Mike. Watch the run. Set up.
And the blitz does come. Flushed out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
They had enough yards for the first down, but a clutch hit right there defensively. Jars it free. No first down.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And avoids the contact by sliding. Give them 14 on that one and a first down.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Here we go. 30 base.
And we're pretty quiet, G. We're pretty quiet.
No. Shoot.
On 1st and 10 is counter. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
Watch the pass. Watch the pass.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. And this defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Bang, 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 bang.
Rock it. Be careful.
Now counter. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. And now here comes the 3rd of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out.
70, Indy.
Danny.
Go.
On me.
They'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. He'll run it, and he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
It's a game of 6. Brings up 3rd.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23.
Well, they got the yardage they needed there, picked up the first down, got out of bounds. How about the urgency that they have, as well as they understand where they are on the field?
First and 10 at the 15-yard line.
Go now. 60 outlaw.
Double dog. That's the way.
Snap.
On first down, Connor. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. James Conner, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a two-score game. You're inside at 2 minutes. I think feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. Tried to roll out, make a play outside of the pocket, but couldn't get it done.
When you don't have a lot of space for your receivers to operate, and down there is really condensed when you're snapping the ball from the 2-yard line, rolling out, you extend a play, but you don't necessarily open up better avenues for people. And on that play, there's just nowhere to go with the ball, and you end up getting sacked.
The Browns drive about to get started. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Jackson throwing again. Escaping the pressure right. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Tried to go for the big one there on 2nd down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
On 3rd down, Jackson. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he takes it across the 50 to the 46-yard line. Right about 20 yards on the pickup. And officially, they'll say it's going to go for 19.
First down.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. He's going to let it fly. This is caught inside the 15. And they move this all the way down to the 9. 36 yards on the play. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5. And the ball smacked down on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Now it's Jackson. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked off by Mark Barron. Accelerating, and off he goes. The 30. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Boswell good with the extra point, and that will make this a 19-point game. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20.
At their own 18-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build.
Just something.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening